Hi guys, my name's James from plumberparts.co.uk. Today we're going to have a quick look at a lovely little DIY video. We're going to show you how to change over a siphon unit with the old handle flush to a lovely new Viva push button. This thing is an absolute beast. We're going to have a look at this. I'm going to leave links for you so you can buy it. There's also going to be links to our Amazon shop so you can buy any of the tools that we've used in this video. If you want to, pop over to our interactive house to learn more. There's loads of things to look at over there and it's really, really handy. Make sure you press the subscribe button and the little bell so you get a notification when we upload a new video. And I hope you enjoy this video. Let's get on with it, guys. Hold tight. Before we continue too far, let's have a look and see actually what you get in the bag when you buy a Viva Universal Flush Valve. Firstly, you've got the bag, which is important because it's got most of the instructions on there. Then you have the flush valve itself, and that's going to have two bottom connectors for it. You've got an 1.5 inch one for a standard flush pipe, and also a 2-inch one, so most of your toilet flushes are catered for. We also have the option to have a handle type flush, but with the flush capacity and function of this new type of flush units. Then we have the new push button itself with the half moon full flush and the small flush button there as well. We also have a chrome set off to make sure that you can use this on any toilet regardless of hole. You have bottom nut washer, a chrome flange plate, and all the tightening up little bits and pieces you need to do this job. The Viva Dual Flush is pretty straightforward. It's very easy for us to set up and commission this beast. We've got flow dippers for full flush and also half flush. Also, you can twist and lift up and down to adjust the overflow level as well, which is another great advantage of these over most siphon units, is you've got an integrated overflow. It's really easy for us to remove and also push back on the bottom flush pipe sizes, and also this is handy to know for when we've installed it, because that's how we're going to maintain this flush unit once it's done. So then guys, we've got a fully functioning toilet here. This is a back to the wall exposed cistern. Close coupled we call this because the cistern and the toilet are sat on top of each other. As you can see here, inside this unit, we've got a standard Viva siphon unit. They're really, really good. There's nothing wrong with this one here. It's just the fact that the customer, for example, has said they now want a push button one. So without further ado, let's get into this. It's very, very easy. All the tools, like I said, even this tool bag and everything that I use in this video is available in the Amazon store. So let's have a go now. So the first thing we want to do is turn the water off here. We can turn that off with a slotted screwdriver like this one, but sometimes you aren't going to be so lucky and you're going to have to find out where the water turns off. So we're going to turn the water off using a slotted screwdriver just there. And that's off now. The next thing we're going to do is actually flush the loo itself. So we're just going to flush this now. I've got a little black strip on here just to help the water run down into my bucket. Now that we've got the water off and we've flushed out most of the cistern out down to our waist, there's going to be about 1 inch of water, if you're lucky, at the bottom of the cistern. Most plumbers would use a wet vac to wet vac that out and it'll take seconds, but I'm going to do it like you guys are. What you're going to have to do is get a rag, you're going to put it down in there, soak all the water out and just wring it out into the toilet. That's all you've got to do. It takes a little bit of time.
I can't believe I'm taking the water out of the toilet that I do when we am pooing every day. I can't believe I'm wringing it out into that toilet bowl because I want to get this flush unit changed. Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, once we've got the water out, all we need to do is remove the cold water feed to the bottom of our cistern or the side, wherever it is. Sometimes you're going to find that a carpenter has lovingly boxed all this lot in and then a tiler's lovingly tiled it. That's when this job can be a simple one that goes absolutely out of control. So, you know, always have a look and see what the cistern looks like. Can you get at all these bits and bobs that we're going to talk about? Effectively watch this video all the way through and then go and have a look at your toilet and see if you can tackle this. So what we're going to do, we're going to undo the little nut under here like that. We're just undoing it there with an adjustable spanner. Very, very easy. It's on a rubber washer, so should be absolutely fine to undo. Then there's 2 screws that are usually going to be holding back the cistern at the top like there, or they do on this particular model. Remember, we're just using this for demonstration purposes. You can have a concealed cistern that's got a flush on it. It's all the same. We basically have to be able to take the cistern off and out so we can work on it. Once we've got those 2 undone, on a close coupled cistern like the one here, we've got little wing nuts underneath that we need to undo and take out of the way. Very, very easy as you can see, only if you can get at them, okay? This is the one problem. If you can't get at them, this job becomes really, really difficult. And once we've got those off, we can lift our cistern off and move on to the next stage. So just lift this off and out. And because we scooped all the water out earlier on, we've now got it nice and easy for us to work on. So let's have a quick look at the bottom. So we have a thing here for a close coupled cistern called a doughnut. What we're going to do is we'll peel that off. Now, if this is an old one, you're going to get black everywhere. All the sort of the rubber sort of peels off and it stays around on here and it's just not great. Also, you're going to find a lot of the time that these are covered in crystallised urine, which is just one of the perks of the job, really. You know, I just love crystallised urine. So what you're going to want to do usually is get rid of that. You can often buy a pack like this with the doughnut, the retainer, and also these and the wing nuts and everything. I'll leave a link to that to my Amazon store. We've definitely got those in there, so have a little look. So we're going to pop them to one side because they're okay. Now what we've got is this large nut here, and what we're going to do, we're going to undo that nut and remove the old siphon unit. So
Remove the donut and then take off the retaining nut. Remove the retainer and the wing nuts bolts too. You can now remove your old flush unit and put it to one side.
let's get on with the video. So now if we look here, we've got our siphon unit flopping about. All we need to do is usually remove a small screw off here and you just slide this off the actuating arm and then we can lift this out of the way. Another way of doing this is to just take that off and then lift that out as well. So there's our old siphon unit from Viva out, actually really good. One thing I love about them, and you get this with most siphon units these days, if you want to change it, you can just take that out the top, you don't have to do loads of work at the other end or any draining down, that sort of thing. So really, really good bit of kit, but redundant for the job that we're doing today. Now we can remove the old handle, usually nipped up hand tight. You just do this off here like so. It's usually a little rubber washer or something like that in there. And that's the old handle. Right, so now we're at the stage where we want to get our new flush unit out. A couple of little tricks and tips that I could recommend for you here as well. Sometimes you'll find that the thread on here is a little bit longer than what the toilet can receive effectively. If that's the case, what you want to do is get this on first and then hacksaw that little bit off to make sure. You'll know about it because when you do your flush the first time, you might get a bit of a leak because the doughnut isn't allowed to compress down between the close coupled cistern, but we'll have a look at that in a sec. What I'm going to do now is put our handle on as well. Now, because we can't get the whole body through, if we were doing a brand new install and this was a concealed toilet, we'd cut the right size hole so this would sit flush up against the bit of wood or whatever it was, the tile. What we need to do is put this little covering over like this. You can also have the option of a wider fascia as well if you've got a larger hole to sort of cover if you're taking an old button unit out. So I've thought of everything here, Viva have. It's really nice that they've thought about us, which is nice when the manufacturer does that. So what we do, we've got this here, we just pop this into here and we just do that up, nip that up nicely. Try and get the Viva so it faces the top, I guess, if you want. And then that's ready to do. One thing I'll say is it's very easy for us to do exactly the same thing with the handle flush that we've got here. If you want to do a half flush, you lift the handle up. And if you want to do a full flush, you push the handle down. And it's very, very simple. It's exactly the same method for install. You just put it on like that. I mean, there's no real point in me showing you that. Definitely works. So now we've got our button on. You know, we're getting really quite far now with this job. So what I'm going to be doing today is installing the 1.5 inch receiver. We've got our rubber washer over there, nice and thick, ribbed as well. So that gets 3 little areas of seal there. Just make sure when you're putting it down onto there that the seat is nice and clean. And then we just push this through. I'm just going to lay it on its side and we'll just push that through like so, like that. Our clamp, I'm going to pop a little slip washer on. It just helps these to do up a little bit tighter. And then they're ready to do up nice and tight. Now we'll pop that donut back over. Our screws in. We're ready to now put this back.
It's that time again to put it all back together. Oh yes, oh yes. You've now got a close up, but really just put it back together.
Put it back together.
In reverse order.
Of course, yes. Just pay particular attention to the fact that that square goes in there. So later on when we're tightening up, that doesn't move. Now we're ready to pop this back onto the toilet, making sure that they go through like so. Now all we need to do is put our 2 wing nuts back on, make sure they're nice and tight, and what that's going to do is sandwich this down so we get a watertight seal, and then easily click in our Viva flush unit itself. And we're just going to pop that down, and you can literally feel it just go click on like so. That is now installed. So what we can now do is we can adjust the height of our overflow so it's up here, and then lock it in position, or we can push it right down low and lock it in position. So we've got that nice integral overflow, which is a real big deal. So we've got a hole here for the lever one. So we've got the lever type, we pop that on there. And then on here, we've got our push button one. So we're just gonna pop our push button one on there, like so. And that's on. And now when we press the button, all done. Now we just reconnect our water supply and think about what vest top I'm gonna wear at the end of this video. I've got an absolute beast this week. I'm such a big fan of it. So just gonna turn the water on now. Righty-ho, you ready for this, guys? Now just gonna wait for this to fill up and it should drop into that cup. Cool, now we're filled up. Let's just have a quick look though if we actually have a failure of the fill valve. Let's see what happens. So you've got a failure of that fill valve. Look, you can see the level going up, and now it's gonna start to run into our overflow like that. And that's gonna start to run into our toilet down here and then off out to our waste down there. Let's just turn that off now. Right, so let's press the button, give it a go. So then guys, there we go. We've got this lovely beast installed now. Push button capability, really, really good. Probably gonna make that overflow. Now, how much do you wanna bet that bucket overflows? Man, that's so close. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I've got myself a nice Viva Pro Club cup here. So if you are an installer and you wanna join their Pro Club, it's got loads of perks, hats, clothes, discounts on bits and pieces as well. Then click on the link below. I've left it below so you can check that out as well. Remember what I said, you can also go to our Amazon store to buy any of the tools that I've used here today. You can even buy this fantastic garment that I'm wearing, that I'm definitely gonna be repping when I go to Porto in a couple of months' time on the beach, looking like a beast. Don't forget as well, if you haven't done already, to subscribe to my other YouTube channel, Times with James. It's a vlog channel, it's a lot about history and travel and stuff like that. And you know, if you're into that sort of thing, hopefully you'll enjoy it. There's loads more in this as well, and there's going to be a few more videos from Slovakia coming up in the next few weeks on Times with James. So please come along for the ride, guys. Please hit that subscribe button. The on-air light is on, and let's get on with the video. Let's go. Before we dive into, also check out our interactive house as well. There's loads of things to see there, loads of things to do as well. Big G is sat on the sofa. See if you can find him elsewhere in the house. If you can, let us know on Instagram and you might win a prize as well. Anyway, have a great week, guys. I'll see you in our next video. And remember, if there's one thing you've got to do other than wear some of the best garments in the world, that's hold tight. See you soon. Oh, and for those of you who are wondering, coffee black with one. And a little wee nip of brandy.
Hello everyone, just like to say please subscribe if you get a chance by clicking on the, excuse me, can you all be quiet please? Thank you. Click on the subscribe link. Also if you get a chance, check out my vlog channel, Times with James. Also there's links below if you would listen to the Amazon store. Anyway, see you in the next video.